still don't know exactly what I'm doing. And surprisingly, I'm okay with that. Hi, my name is Ruth Marquis Starden, and I help women in their 30s and 40s rebuild and reinvent their lives. Now, I never said I had all the answers, but I know I've been here before. And when you've done something experience wise, you know you're going to be okay. So when I had to sing for my wedding coming down the aisle, "Here I stand," right? It was nerve wracking, but because I've had so many solos in the last 2 years, it was just another solo, and it was just a different song. It was a song that I only sung once, like it's my first time singing it, and that's what made it a little shaky, but it was it was overall good. And when you have done something before, like rebuild your life, you can do it again. You can become the identity that you were looking for. You can become the woman that or man that you were always wanted to be. I'm not just for women, I'm for men too. But I know women have a hard time shaking the old stuff out. Like there's so many ideas and so many things that we need to let go of in order to get the life that we want. That's the other thing we didn't get into. All this independent. I don't need a man. I don't need a man. I need my man. I need my man. I need my man. I didn't know how much I need my man till I need my man. Where you at, baby? Baby, when you get back to see me, baby, please. I love that man. He's just when he's around, like everything calms down. I feel like my cortisol levels drop. I don't have to drive. I don't have to open my doors. I don't have to wash dishes. I don't have to take out the trash. I don't have to go get all those single items. When you was a single mom, you had to keep getting trash bags, and you would keep running out, running out, running out. How many trash bags do I need? I don't have to worry about that kind of stuff no more. And I had to make that transition of you're not all alone anymore. You have somebody to think of, and you have somebody that's thinking of you. I don't have to figure it out, but we're figuring it out together. So my career is the perfect example of not having it figured out, but having a plan. I know I want something different. I looked at nursing school. I wanted to go to school for being a paralegal. I want to go to law school. Just a lot of stuff I was throwing at the wall, but it wasn't just sitting right with me. I needed something that was like a guarantee. And I didn't think law school was going to be a guarantee. I was like, how am I going to get to that far? Like you have to kind of afford it at this point, because you don't know, um, with the scholarships and I mean, so the student loans and how that's going. So I just wasn't feeling easy about it until God confirmed it for me. That's why I was like, that was such a hype video. Check that video out. Um, and so going to school and just having knowing this is my next step. I mean, when I say like I could like, and that's the crazy thing is like I could stay at my job, but they started with me, but I could stay at my job because I would just wanted my next step. I wanted to know what I was moving forward in. But then they want to like, start with me and stuff, and like, that you was right. It sounds like, dang, I gotta go, dang. It's like, but then it's like you're in limbo because you're waiting for God to do with his big one. And I'm not about forcing stuff. I'm like, God, at the end of the day, I don't have to go, right? My battery low. Because my battery is low there, right? But I don't have to go. And so it just feels like confusion. It feels like people don't believe me. People think I want to stay when they say, you staying. Someday somebody say, you staying right here. And I'm just like, I'm really not. And then when they say, you going, I'm like, I'm not ready to go. And I'm just like, I need to see that light at the end of the tunnel that smoking gun that that's it. That's what I'm doing next. That's where I'm going. And until I see that, I'm gonna stay right here. Okay. I got bills to pay, kids to take care of. I'm not crazy. Okay. So I'm just like, I just need the right next step. And I'm happy and content with just that. And knowing like just the right next step as far as working, and I'm fine. So planning with my husband showed me that a plan can have question marks. And for me, it's like I don't like uncertainty, but I have learned to live with it. When you do real estate, you don't even know when things are closing or what's going to happen. And you're just willing to live with a bomb almost exploding all the time, because things can fall apart and out of nowhere. And you're like, I did not deserve this. This is crazy. And I feel like it trained me to like understand like, okay, this is not going to happen. Like, quick story. So me and Mike were going to get married. Like, we got proposed to. I got proposed to on May 9th, and I knew that was happening. My daughter graduated college that same day. We're going to Longwood Gardens to get proposed to. I knew about it. Like, I really don't like surprises anymore. Like, to the point where I don't care. Like, I've been waiting so long for it, and like it's been 3.5 years. At this point, don't surprise me. I don't want to. I want to. The surprise is that it is actually happening. That was a surprise, right? So, I know it's happening, and then I cried because I didn't think he was gonna like buy me like this extravagant ring and stuff like that, and he did, and I was just like, I'm not materialistic, but that really showed me that he really, really loved me. Um, because his best wasn't even what he gave me. He gave more than his best, and I really appreciated that, and that would have me crying, right? So we got married. So then but we ended up booking the something came through where we had the money to like book the reception hall, and we booked it that night, and then like a so we got engaged on Saturday. By Wednesday we booked the hall night, and we didn't even have a church, and we didn't even know if Bishop was going to be able to do it. And then the next day they were like, wait, Bishop can't do that date that you want. And I'm like, I already booked it, I'm so sorry. So then she goes like, well, I was like, and I want to I said, well, we got to work out the paperwork and all that. And she was like, well, you could do a private ceremony. She's like, we could do it as early as this Sunday and as late as da da da. I said, this Sunday, baby, what you think? This Sunday? Okay, yes, this Sunday. But we had already booked the place, so I knew God wanted me to still have the bigger wedding. So we ended up getting married 2 months before the big date, right? And I was going to push it back, but Mike was like, no, it's going to be in July. This is what we decided. This was the plan. And I was like, why are you sticking to the plan? I need some more time. And I was like, all right, if God told him, if he's feeling this in his heart, I know it's God. So I'm just going to go with what my husband says. So we had a big question mark with that. We didn't know how that was going to turn out. And it turned out beautiful. It turned out amazing. And I'm so grateful that we did it. And the plan that we came up with about our finances, it had some question marks. We didn't know what we were going to do with this and that. And we could start seeing the goals that we want clashing. Like, oh, that's money right here and that's money right there. You know how much we're going to have to break that down to a week? That's a lot of savings. So we got to eventually in the next meeting, we're going to make big choices. But certain things was like, oh, do we get, um, you know, um, this kid, this thing this year, or do we wait till next year? We thought, all right, we can wait that on that because it doesn't even make sense. Like, we're going to even hold that. So it was just really nice to be like, okay, that's not happening, but this can happen. And so, but we can't predict everything. We don't know what's going to happen. Jobs change, expenses happen, kids need things, and opportunities come up. The plan isn't a promise that everything will happen exactly that way. It's just the direction where you want to go. And that leads to my last point, which is direction is enough for this season. I don't need to know exactly where I'll be 5 years from now. I need to know what I'm doing now that moves me closer. Okay. And if God redirects me, I'll just adjust. But at least I know we're going on this path. It was a big, I didn't know what direction I was going to go in for the longest. So just picking a career was like a big win. Just pick nursing and go for it. Like you wanted to do it since you were 18 years old, and things popped up multiple times. I tried to go to nursing school multiple times and I couldn't go. And I knew it would have changed my situation. But at the same time, it was something that was going to pull me away from my kids. And what I had in that season, could be a single mother who the circumstances were not perfect, but I was there for my children. And that was the most important part. I wanted to be there rearing them, you know? Um, and it was three at a time at the time. It's almost like having triplets. I swear, because but now if it's like one kid at a time, I can just focus on this one kid. But three, you gotta be there. It was a big job. It was. I don't know how I made it through. God is so good. It was a big job. And when I sat at that wedding and I saw how they have grown, I was just so proud. And so once I put the plan together with my husband, we can breathe a little bit more. Things are not hitting us in the throat every like how it's just been thing after thing after thing after thing. We can start seeing the forest from the trees, and we can be like, okay, this is how we're going to handle this, and this is the strategy for that. And he was like, I love this. I love this planning. So, but we know what direction we're walking in, and that was beautiful. And I want the same thing for you. I want you to know what direction you're walking in, so you don't have to know everything. Okay? You don't have to have everything all figured out, but you do have a plan. What's your plan? Let me know what your plan is for the next year. Mine involves nursing school, probably buying a house, um, selling more real estate, um, like all the things we have to take care of in a year, every year that we take care of, just having the money for that, paying down debt, and I'm really excited about the year to come. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.